In this episode, we're going to be talking about a unique way to market yourself as a real estate agent. You haven't heard of this before. So if you're a realtor that's trying to stand out, you've probably been told to post more content or promote your listings or stay present on social media. But what if the agents getting the best leads are doing something different? In this episode, I'm going to show you a strategy that I've used with several real estate investing coaches to really dominate their space and generate tons of referral quality leads. This strategy would work really well for realtors. So the first question I want to address is, do I have to post all this content on social media? Right? Because you see a lot of other realtors doing that. There's just so much posting of this beautiful real estate, and they put them in the image and they're trying to drum up business, whatever it does. If you've done any of that and it's gotten you results, well then definitely keep doing that, right? But if you haven't done it yet, or if you've done it and it hasn't worked, then don't stress. There's a much better way. So here's an interesting thought. What if you were not to make videos about houses, but if you make videos about decisions that people are trying to make? So instead of showing a house in Albuquerque and featuring this Albuquerque house, this luxury home or this apartment, you could do some digging and find what are questions people asking about Albuquerque, or what are people outside the state of Arizona wondering about Albuquerque, such as, is Albuquerque a good place to move to? Or what is the job market like in Albuquerque? What are the schools like in Albuquerque? So whatever city that you're in, you can find the questions. There's a lot of people that are moving out of California and moving to other places like Arizona, like Utah, like Idaho. So you want to find the exact wording. And I'm just making it up as I film this video, but it might be, is Boise a better place to live than Sacramento? You know, who knows what it is, but if you do some digging, you'll find that, and you'll find hundreds and hundreds of questions that people are specifically asking that relate to your area that you sell real estate. Now, there is a channel that's already doing this. I'll have to search and see if you can find it, but Boise is the city that this guy owns and dominates. Now, he stumbled across this strategy himself and he started to implement it, and then I gave him some consulting and he really enhanced his strategy. So he now owns that space, and you can do the same thing in your area. So think of it this way. There's a lot of different ways that you can collect leads, and if somebody found your listing as a realtor, is that always a good lead? They're probably exploring lots of realtors. You don't know what kind of phase they're in or if they're your ideal client. But if somebody was researching on Google, YouTube, or ChatGPT, and they found your advice and they watched videos of you teaching them and started to build a relationship with them, and then they became a lead, those people are far more likely to work with you. Now, am I saying that the best place for your listings is YouTube? No, that's the MLS. That's what that's for. But the best place for your content and the best place for your lead generation is definitely YouTube. Not all of your potential clients are searching on YouTube, but because YouTube is the #1 content platform, if they're searching on Google, Google will recommend YouTube. Or if they're even doing research on ChatGPT, ChatGPT is recommending this type of content on YouTube. How can I stand out in a crowded real estate market? So most markets today are very crowded, and I'm assuming that's the case for you in your city and in your state. How can you stand out? Well, how many realtors in your area do you know that follow this strategy? I'll tell you right now that I have a client that wanted to be the #1 agent in his entire industry, and when we met, it was just a dream. But a couple years later, through our efforts following this YouTube strategy, he is now the #1 agent in his industry by 4 times. Now, you've probably learned about great promo videos, and there's a place for promo videos. You want to have a good promotion or good commercial on your website, but really good marketing builds a relationship first. When you divide your video marketing into 2 stages, where you build a relationship first before you pitch yourself or your services as a realtor, that's called authority marketing. I really want you to become an expert in authority marketing. It will really help you to stand out as a realtor in your area. You'll be able to generate much better leads, much more consistent leads. And I'll link to a video right here where you can learn that part of the strategy. So go watch that video now. What is authority marketing? You'll not only learn what it is, but you'll learn how to do it. I'll see you there.